I think I may have just watched the most disappointing football game I have ever seen in my entire time being a fan of the National Football League. It was that bad for the Washington Commanders here in Week 12 as they go down to the Dallas Cowboys at home after a mini bye week and after the Cowboys just played on Monday Night Football. They had every advantage in this football game heading in. Dan Quinn proclaimed Jayden Daniels was back to fully healthy. You were hoping that this coaching staff and Kliff Kingsbury would have had a great plan coming in. And unfortunately, it was more of the same. And honestly, it was worse than before Thursday Night Football against the Eagles. And you take a 34-26 loss in the most brutal fashion possible. We're going to be breaking it down here on today's edition of the Commanders Report. I'm your host, Jack Sperry. And today's a tough one, but we're going to be here whether it's a good day, whether it's a bad day. I'm currently recording this on the Commanders Report live watch party. We go live for just about every single Commanders game, and I'm going to have more takeaways tomorrow after I watch the film. So if you guys want extensive, informative, and in-depth coverage for free on the Commanders this year, make sure you click that subscribe button right now. Some injuries to get to here. Brian Robinson Jr. left the game. He had kind of a weird injury early on the first rush of the game. Then he came back, and then he went back out with an ankle injury. We're hoping that Brian Robinson Jr. is going to be okay here moving forward, especially because of a really scary moment at the end of the game. On the final kickoff return of the game, Austin Eckler gets absolutely smoked, and he was on the ground not moving for a very long time. He was able to get up on his own power, thank God, but he was definitely wobbly walking off. So I would assume that he has some sort of concussion and probably a very serious one, and he's going to be out for at least a couple weeks. Also, Andrew Wiley left this game with a concussion after Jayden Daniels' first rushing touchdown of the day. So he's going to be out. Trent Scott is the backup right tackle in Washington for the time being. We'll keep you guys updated on their statuses throughout the week. So let's get into the takeaways here. And the first one revolves around Jayden Daniels. And I put out a video this week comparing him to Bo Nix. And I said that JD was still my pick for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Depending how Bo Nix does today against the Raiders, and it sounds like he's getting off to a fast start when I'm recording this video, I think that Bo Nix is going to take advantage and he's going to become the favorite to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. It's now 3 straight games where Jayden Daniels has not only not looked like himself, where he was breaking records for completion percentage and throwing dots down the field consistently. It's been 3 straight games of inaccurate passing, a lack of a passing game, a lack of a run game, to be honest with you. And he did have 3 total touchdowns today, I believe, if not 2 total touchdowns. I think he had 2 passing and 1 rushing. So he got 3 touchdowns today, threw 2 interceptions, and one of them was on a Hail Mary, so you can take away one of those interceptions, essentially. So you look at the stat line, you might think, hey, it wasn't that bad for Jayden Daniels, but a lot of that was in garbage time. A lot of that came on a miraculous touchdown to Terry McLaurin in the final minute that, by the way, should have ended up in tying the game, but Austin Seibert missed the fucking field goal. And God, we'll talk about that later, guys, but Jayden Daniels did not play well enough today, plain and simply. He had a couple nice throws. He played well towards the end of the game, and honestly, when they let him kind of just roam around and be free and just find the open receiver, that's when he played his best today. So not a great day for Jayden Daniels whatsoever. You're hoping for better days ahead, but I think that today he probably lost his footing as the favorite to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Also, just in general, the offense let the defense down. I mean, the defense, especially in the first half, man, they were playing great football. Frankie Louva was making play after play after play. They were making stops. They were getting they forced a fumble. Special teams was making plays. And we talked about it, man. You had about like 4 opportunities where you took over in Cowboy territory, and you got 0 points on those 4 drives. How does that happen? Somebody explain it to me, man. And I don't even want to see the 411 yards of total offense. This offense was terrible today. 3 turnovers, could have been more. Jayden was terrible. The run game wasn't going. The offensive line couldn't protect anybody. And Kliff Kingsbury, what the hell's going on, man? Kliff Kingsbury all of a sudden can't call an NFL football game, it seems. And it seems like defenses know how to guard Jayden Daniels, which is just throw the blitz at him. Kliff's not giving Jayden answers when he's hot, and then Jayden's not doing a good job recognizing when he's hot. It is a perfect storm that is collapsing on this Commanders offense right now, and it certainly feels like the Kliff Kingsbury cliff that we discussed earlier this week after they lost to the Eagles seems very real. in the second half of seasons, Kliff Kingsbury's record as the offensive play caller for his team is atrocious. And now he is carrying that over here to Washington, where they're now 0-3 in second half football games. 0-3 now. And one of them is against a team you definitely should have beat at home with everything. There's just no excuses going into this game. No excuses for the offense to look as bad as it did for most of the game today. And that's on Kliff Kingsbury. That's on Jayden Daniels. Hell, that's on Dan Quinn too for not getting his offense ready to go. It sucks, man. But let me know who you blame more down there in the comments section. Jayden Daniels or Kliff Kingsbury? Is it the quarterback not executing, or is it Kliff Kingsbury not giving his quarterback enough answers to succeed? Let me know down there in the comments section. If you think it's both, you think they're both equally as terrible, you guys can type both if you want. But let me know down there in the comments section for today's pinned comment. In just a second here, I'm going to tell you guys about our sponsor today at Prize Picks. And while I'm talking about Prize Picks, let me know who you blame more for the offensive struggles. Okay, let's talk about Prize Picks here. And Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action from this football season. Join over 10 million users and sign up today. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect, and you guys can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. Also, Prize Picks now offers Venmo for quick and easy deposits and withdrawals into your account this sports season. Sign up today to get $50 instantly when you just play your first $5 lineup. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And you guys can see my promotion here and my projected lineup today. I don't think I hit it today, actually. I think Cooper Rush got the more on the passing yards, but I came close. B-Rob was a wash because he left the game with injury. Jayden Daniels did end up getting the more on passing yards, but unfortunately Cooper Rush ended up getting the more on passing yards. I took the less, so I'm not walking away with any money from Prize Picks today. But if you guys think you can walk away with some money tonight for Sunday night football games, it's not too late to get a lineup in. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's $50 instantly when you use code CLNS after playing your first $5 lineup on the Prize Picks app today. Prize Picks, run your game. So at the end of game situation there, it looked like Commanders were done. They're down 7. They had 40 seconds with no timeouts to go down the field. First play, Jayden Daniels hooks up with Terry McLaurin with the most miraculous touchdown I've ever seen. That includes the Hail Mary we saw against Chicago. It was like 80 million yards and a touchdown for Washington. All you need is for either Austin Seibert to hit an extra point, who just came off making a 51-yard field goal, or go for 2 and try to go for the win. I said in the moment, I don't trust Seibert, go for 2. And what happens? He missed his second extra point of the day. I'm sorry, Austin Seibert. You got to go. All right? I don't care if you're injured. It's Zane Gonzalez time here in Washington. I know Seibert was really good to start this season. He isn't anymore. How many times did it come off his leg and it was a complete duck? All right? We can't have that here in Washington. Period. All right? If you have a decent kicker today, you win the game. Or at least you tie the game. Period. And the 2 extra points ended up making the difference in the ball game. That pisses me off. And then for Dan Quinn to not recognize that the ball was not coming off his foot correctly, and especially if you have the momentum, go for 2 and go for the win. Like, why are we playing it safe and going for the extra point? By the way, how safe was it to go with Seibert there? Not safe at all. He missed it, and you end up taking the L when he could have had another miraculous comeback in the fourth quarter. But no, we want to be idiots, and we want to go with Seibert when he hasn't kicked the ball good all day. It's just terrible decision from Dan Quinn, bad performance from Austin Seibert, and it completely, I was so excited when they got that miraculous touchdown. I didn't think it was going to happen, but they did, and then you just give the game away again. It's just so frustrating now. Fifth takeaway here, I think title hopes are dead, all right? I don't want to hear anyone talking about the Commanders as a legit title contender until they really prove themselves, and I just don't see them doing that this year. With the way that the offense is playing, with everything that's going on with this team, the offense is not good enough. The run game isn't as dominant as it was. The offensive line is regressing as the season goes on. Defense is doing okay. You are going to get Marshawn Lattimore back eventually, but with an offense performing this poorly, and by the way, the Cowboys came into today with the 31st ranked scoring defense in the league, and you had 9 points for most of this football game. All right, it's an absolute joke All right, don't get fooled by the 26-point number here. All right, they had 9 points for most of this game. And the Cowboys, because they're a bad football team, they gave the Commanders a chance, and they said, no thanks, you can have the win. Just take it from us. Ridiculous stuff from this Commanders team today, man. Final takeaway here. Not only are the tighter hopes dead, I think you're lucky to win a playoff game. And honestly, I can't guarantee you this team makes the playoffs after a 7-2 start. I mean, you do have a relatively favorable schedule the rest of the way. You got the Titans, you got the Saints, you've got Falcons coming into Washington, a dome team late in the season, and you got the Cowboys again. Those 4 games you can win. I don't think you can beat the Eagles anymore. That's a loss, all right? And you got to win, a good chunk of those final games in order to have a shot to win. In order to have a shot to make the playoffs, you got to get to 10 wins pretty much to make the playoffs in the NFL nowadays. I can't guarantee you get 3 more wins this year. It's that bad in Washington. It is officially time to panic in the nation's capital. So predict it for me down there in the comments section. What's the percent chance that the Commanders win a playoff game this year? Put it on a scale of 0 to 100 for me down there in the comments section. I won't say it's 0, but it's definitely less than it was coming into today, in my opinion. I got to put it at a 10 to 15% range at this point. It's not looking good. So some final thoughts here before we wrap it up. Definitely a disappointing day. In fact, this is maybe the most disappointing day because the Commanders fans are used to disappointment, but they're not used to expectations, right? They're not used to having 7-2 starts to seasons and then all of a sudden a collapse like this. And by the way, this Commanders team is a Hail Mary away right now from 6-6. I mean, how good is this Commanders team really? We're going to find out in these last few weeks what this team really has, and what kind of heart this team has moving forward, and what kind of offense this offense is going to be, and what kind of quarterback Jayden Daniels is over the next several weeks. Okay? But losing to the Dallas Cowboys when you had ample time to prepare, when they had a short week, when you're at home, when they had the 31st ranked scoring defense, and you lose in this way, it's a fucking joke. And you just got to hope that this team can pull it around here and turn it around for the final stretch of the season. By the way, next week's opponent, Tennessee Titans, beat the Texans, a playoff team, on the road today. I can't say I feel confident they win that one. All right, man, that's going to be it for today. Tonight, I'm going to watch the film. I'm going to be breaking everything down. And then tomorrow, we'll be back with Overreaction Monday. But honestly, I don't think a lot of overreactions are going to be overreactions. This is a 5-alarm fire in Washington right now, losing this game the way that you lost it. Multiple opportunities to not only win, but dominate this game, and you never took one. Not a single one. And, it's disappointing. It's frustrating. It's angering. And you, the Commanders fan at home, have every right to be angry with this football team. It was a fucking joke what you saw on screen today, and I'm sorry you wasted your Sunday afternoon watching this team lose the way they did. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And until next time, guys, go raise some hail.